I'm still curious about this. Somebody said to me, the case of what you have passion for is different from other matters that you need to go to the Lord to ask about instructions and guidance. And I was like, no, there's just separation of that from other things, because the totality of the life comes under the jurisdiction of the one who is your Lord, who is your creator, and that's God. And let's look at Jeremiah 1:5. It said, "Before I formed thee in the belly, before thou camest out of the womb, I knew thee and ordained thee a prophet." That means there is a plan that predates your existence on earth. That means everything you're going to do on the earth has to be in accordance with that which is written. So if you're separating a desire or a section of your will from his lordship, then there's going to be a problem. And this problem is the problem of your passion versus his eternal purpose for your life. Now let's look at some cases in the Old Testament and the New Testament. The case of Joab, very passionate man of war, was passionate about defending the king and establishing his own lordship as the head of the army. He did a lot of things that were not in line with what the king wanted. That's why in 1 Kings 2:5, he was part of those who David told Solomon to execute judgment on, because he killed Abner and killed Amasa. Abner, maybe you must have seen Abner as a threat to his own authority, because Abner was the head of hosts when Saul was king. Now let's take another example in the New Testament. In Acts 16:6, now Paul, we know, was very, very passionate while he walked on this earth, very passionate about preaching the gospel of Christ. As a matter of fact, he just established a church or churches in verse 5. And in verse 6, they were going to go to Asia to do the same thing, to preach the gospel. But he said the Holy Spirit restricted them from going. Now, you wonder, oh, this guy was so passionate about doing the business of the Lord, but his Lord was the one that resisted him from going there. So this should tell you that there is nothing in your life, there is no section in your life that should be outside the lordship of God in your life. There is no difference whatsoever. Why? Because you cannot afford to have a clash of interest between yourself and your God. You cannot afford to have a wrestling match between your own will, your purpose, and the desire of God for your life, or the plans of God for your life, because it's your passion. And know one thing, there is nothing good in man. The only thing that is good in us is the presence of God in our life. And because God is the only one that is good.